I wanted to be a teacher. I studied to be a teacher.
Okay.
I became a teacher.
And now you are a teacher.
Yeah. One of our teachers uses something called the mantle of the expert. Instead of saying, today, children, quiet, listen, we're going to learn about oceans today. This is why you have to learn it. Already, I think they're falling asleep, okay? So our teacher might say something like, I was walking last night in the city of Bucharest, and I saw some suspicious men, and they're wearing these hoods, and they were exchanging some documents, and while they ran off, they dropped some documents on the floor. I picked up the documents and said, sir, you forgot your document, but they were gone. Now, students, I brought these documents to school. What should we do? Should we take it to the police? Should we open the documents? What should we do? Already, it's almost as if you're saying, hey, come on, what is this about?
Yeah.
There's a mystery, excitement.
How do you see the children here?
Honestly, I think that there is a lot of fear-based training down here.
What do you do with the internet, the TV, the technology, and everything?
My younger children, I have coupons, but I give them coupons, and I say, these are your coupons for this week.
Okay.
Okay, you can do whatever you want. You can use them all now, or you can use some of them today, some of them tomorrow, and so forth. And then basically they have responsibility for it. For my older son, he might do like 3-4 hours a week of electronics.
Welcome, Richard.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Tell me, for how long you've been in Romania?
I've been here since 1997, so it's been 20 years now.
Wow. So do you know about Mămăligă?
Of course, my favorite. With
Really?
a little sarmale, a little smântână.
Yeah. Okay. And before Bucharest, what was it?
Before Romania, I was in California, in Los Angeles. I lived there for 7-8 years. I'm Greek American. My mother is American. My father's Greek.
Greek? I'm Greek too.
Oh yeah?
Yes.
So we're relatives.
Maybe. You never know.
You never know. What's your last name? What side of it? Like, does it have a Greek name? Is there a Greek name actually?
Yes, I have Helen.
Helen.
And my brother is Meltiade.
Meltiade. Yeah, it is
Yes.
Greek. Those are Greek names.
Yes.
So I lived in both cultures: Greek, America, Greece, back and forth.
And when you were a little bit like college, let's say, what would you want it to be?
I wanted to be a teacher.
Really? You knew from the start?
I wanted to be a teacher. I studied to be a teacher.
Okay.
I became a teacher.
And now you are a teacher?
Yeah. There's a big gap there, but yeah, I started as a teacher, but I was a bit disenfranchised by the whole process. That I was a young teacher, very passionate, but I had 28 kids. I was one teacher alone, and the whole system was just totally counterintuitive from what I felt an education should look like. So then I left the teaching arena and went into the corporate world, the business world, for many years. That's what brought me to Romania. And after having great success in Romania, being very good to me, and I have so much to thank Romania and its culture and its people and everything, that I could finally, at some point in my life, when I reached a little older and hopefully a little wiser, to choose what I wanted to do. And I wanted to go back to my first love, which was education.
When your first love came back to you, teaching?
When I became a father.
So that was the main...
That was the main thing,
The
of
main
revisiting and going back to my childhood, going back to what I loved, going back to what I was passionate about, like going for my first bike ride with my kids, it takes you back, you start to remember what
I
it was
think
like.
you are still a kid.
I think we all
Really?
have to be at heart, don't we?
Well, yeah. Well, sometimes.
We take ourselves too seriously, don't we?
But I think you are every day.
My
Me, I'm just sometimes. But you look like every day you are doing this.
I think it keeps us alive. It
Yeah.
keeps things fresh, and if you don't take yourself too seriously, and you have to remember the joy, the fun of it all. And when I work with my students, we talk all the time. Adults are too serious.
You have 3 boys.
3 boys.
3 boys. Like what age?
I have a 12-year-old, almost
Yeah.
a 12-year-old, a 9-year-old, and an 8-month-old one.
My God.
We tried for girls, but my wife said, no
It's
way,
not
we're not
late.
going for a 4th one. No.
It's not. Oh, okay then.
Yeah, she's the boss. So
You should, exactly. You should like.
it's her body. I can't.
Yeah.
Being a father, actually, I remember calling my mom back and saying to her one day, I was like, "Mom, I'm so sorry. I took you for granted. You're just so amazing. I can't believe you worked. You raised children. You had she had 4 kids.
4.
So I have definitely. I think when you become a parent, you have this newfound respect for your parents, and you realize, oh, geez, I took them for granted. I didn't realize how much invested time they put from such a young age.
What are you teaching the children in Veritas School? What is the difference?
Well, I think it's that. I think it's that storytelling, using that imagination, that creativity, and finding a curriculum, which there are some exciting stuff out there. In the last 10, 15, 20 years, there are a lot of schools that are doing amazing things. We're not reinventing the wheel.
Of course.
So we take some of those curriculums or those modules, let's say, and which bring the curriculum alive and actually train our teachers how to teach. We call it inquiry-based learning. So it's not teaching them what to learn, but how to learn.
How to learn.
And through storytelling, through experiential, using their hands, building things.
And you are going after them, not they are going after you.
It's more like, I'll give you an example. One of our teachers uses something called the mantle of the expert. Instead of saying, today, children, quiet, listen, we're going to learn about oceans today. This is why you have to learn it. Already, I think they're falling asleep, okay? So our teacher might say something like, I was walking last night in the city of Bucharest, and I saw some suspicious men, and they're wearing these hoods, and they were exchanging some documents. It was very suspicious. I don't know what it was about. And while they ran off, they dropped some documents on the floor. I picked up the documents and said, sir, you forgot your document, but they were gone. Now, students, I brought these documents to school. What should we do? Should we take it to the police? Should we open the documents? What should we do? Already, it's almost as if you're saying, hey, come on, what is this about?
Yeah.
There's a mystery, excitement. And I think children, my son's in that class, and he was like, Dad, you won't believe what we learned today in school. Now, he's learning objectives of the curriculum, but it's in a way that has a narrative and a story and creates curiosity, and it's just beautiful. And then the teacher, if he's mature, when I was a teacher very young, I think I was very excited and exuberant and teaching about this, but I was talking too much. And the magic is letting them do the explanation. You're there to guide them, to show them. You know already what you're going to do, but the magic is through them.
Yeah.
And that's how life is anyways. If you want really independent thinkers who can think on their own, if you're always spoon-feeding them information, like, here's the information, here's the, and I am the teacher, I know everything.
Yes.
And I give you this information, and you have to repeat this information back to me. Actually, life is not like that.
Yeah, but we still have schools that they are teaching like this in Romania.
And all over the world, not only. So I'm not saying information is not important. I want my sons to be intellectual. I want them to quote Shakespeare. I want them to know mathematical formulas. I want that knowledge. But for me, the landscape, when my sons are going to be 18, 10 years from now, whatever it will be, 8 years, the landscape is going to be completely different. So what's the point of emphasizing on the information when, first of all, you can pick up your phone, you can get the information on a phone in 5 seconds. Secondly, that information is going to be irrelevant in 10 years. I mean, let's say making them memorize it all. I would rather my sons have the capacity to adapt to the information and learn how to learn. Think out of the box, be innovative. Those are the kind of skills I want my sons to have.
I agree with you, but still, we have schools and kindergartens that they are teaching in the old way. What should we do with them? Because this generation, it's very smart, it's very creative.
Amazing.
They are learning faster than they should. Tell me why I should try to teach a girl of 4 or 5 years reading. And not later, at 6, at 7. Why they are so fast? The teachers are doing things so fast with them that they are losing the story, the memories, and everything.
But first of all, there are so many young Romanian teachers that we've hired in our school that as assistant teachers who are ambitious and passionate and qualified and really ready to take on teacher role. So they're usually pairing up with some of our international teachers and understanding the know-how of how to do it, and then maybe investing on them to get a master's degree or training. So I think you guys, I mean, I've been so impressed by the new upcoming generation of Romanians
Yes,
who have
this
it,
new upcoming.
who,
Yes.
who have that hunger. The problem is that if you look at the system, some of these young teachers go into a system that is outdated. There's people working there for 20, 30 years who are demotivated.
Yes.
There's no real aliveness from the leadership to say, how can we do this different? It's not only Romania. Any state system, it's kind of a big dinosaur. It's hard to change, where that's the beautiful thing with the private sector, is that you can make change faster and more impactful. So, but I think the future is in these young generation teachers who are coming up to bring new fresh blood and new way, but they need a leadership that can support them and protect them and guide them, and they have that appetite to give them that information. And,
Do you teach here?
Yeah.
You teach them now?
Yeah.
Yes. And how do you see the children here in Romania? Do you feel there is a difference between
in our
Americans?
school, or in just general in Romania?
In general. There is a
Honestly,
difference of
honestly, I think that there is a lot of fear-based training done here. So
Yeah.
I mean, I can go into this so much in so many details in so many ways. I think
they're more sensitive.
I think
more
it's fear-based,
fear.
compliance-based. I think it comes from our previous generation.
Yeah.
I see different reactions to it. Like, some parents have gone the complete opposite direction. I'm going to be permissive. My child can do anything he wants. He can choose anything he wants, and that's also not healthy. Then you have the other side, the parents saying, if he doesn't learn, I have to, punish him, or I have to make it tough for him because otherwise, and that's fear-based and compliance-based. So, is there a way that's beyond both those processes? That you don't go to one side or the other? It's not even in the middle. It's a third way, a different way. And I think if you open the TV, if you open the radio, if you look at news, whatever, there's so much craziness out there. That fear-based, compliant type style of operating system that we use as we grew up, our parents did the best they could, but it's been a very fear-based, worry-based, anxious-based. And then if you add on top of it the fact that you have all this technology and malls and so forth,
Yeah.
so fast-paced, I think there's a wiser way to move forward, and that we're trying to make a difference in that way.
What do you do with the internet, the TV, the technology, and everything?
They're amazing tools to be used, as long
But
as
how
they don't.
much do you use them?
You ask me as a father or as a director of the
As a
school?
father. As a father.
My younger children, I have coupons.
Oh.
So I think that I think it's important for them to have their own freedom to decide that they want to play computers or they want to research something on the internet or do something. So I'm happy to allow that. I don't want to just completely close it off, because as you said before,
Yes.
they want it more. And I think it's great for them to learn things. They learn a lot of things online. So, but I give them coupons and I say, these are your coupons for this week.
Okay.
Okay, you can do whatever you want. You can use them all now, or you can use some of them today, some of them tomorrow, and so forth. And then basically they have responsibility for it.
Yeah. I have some short questions.
Sure.
Which is the first site that you get in the morning?
The first site I get up in the morning, I don't really search the internet so much. I'm sorry to say that. I wish I. That's
I knew
horrible.
it.
I'm infamous known of not looking at my phone, not answering my phones. If you ask anybody, like, why don't you answer your phone? I'm like, I'm very.
Is there something that makes you go unfollow?
Unfollow.
Unfollow?
Unfollow.
Do you have Facebook?
I do. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you don't have Facebook.
No. Why? No. Of course not.
Okay.
No, Facebook
so
is cool.
is there something that
I would unfollow.
yes you would unfollow?
I don't know. I mean, yeah, I guess things that don't interest me. Maybe I use my Facebook page mostly like for a profile, marketing tool. I don't use it for
Okay,
personal
for
so
your,
much.
for-
Yeah.
Yes. Where would you ban the phones?
Ban the phones?
Ban the phones.
Because have you ever seen, if you go to a restaurant, they're like all having
All of
dinner,
them, yes.
and they're all tweeting to,
Yes.
and it's
They're
like
talking to each other.
even young kids, you'll see that. Where's the quality of our relationship? And then we say, I feel disconnected to life. I feel
Yes.
like somehow something's missing. Well, guess why?
What a man should not say about himself.
I think they should be gentlemen.
Okay.
I think they shouldn't. They should be humble. I think
Okay.
so many times it's me, me, me. I'm great. I'm doing this. I'm amazing. I'm fantastic. So, I think not too many people listen anymore to a woman. I mean, if you're saying like my kids were like giving them advice for their girlfriend, I'd say listen to the girl.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think so many times they talk. So listen to her. See what she has to say, but really listen to her.
Raw vegan or burger with fries?
Both.
Both?
Sounds good to me.
Or mamalinga?
That's even better.
So you are obsessed with, say again.
What am I obsessed about? Oh, death, I said.
Yes.
Yeah. It fascinates me.
Explain to me.
In the States, I used to work with people who were dying.
Mm-hmm.
And I worked here in Romania with kids who had cancer. And in some strange way, it might sound weird, but it always fascinated me as a kid. Like, what happens to us when we die? What the heck? Nobody tells me.
Is there something that you will never eat?
So I'm good with food. I try anything. I've had, chocolate covered ants, snake, camel. I wouldn't say I would eat it every day,
Okay.
but I would try anything.
Define success for you.
Define success for me as
For
a
you.
person.
Yes.
First and foremost, be a great father. That's the biggest motivation in my life. It just moves me like nothing else does. And I think it's because I had a great father too. It was a great inspiration. I know it sounds cliche. I don't know. Nothing makes me feel more alive than connecting with people.
Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you for having me.